I drop everything. Welcome back, guys. It is Productive Sunday. That does not rhyme at all. I would be making the bed, but as you can see, I've got some intruders. The big one there, Miley, she had her spay done on Friday. So she's a little doped up and just healing and cuddling with her little sister there, Isabella. Say hi, Miley. Hi, babies. Aren't they so cute? Today's video is not about the dogs. It is about how to do a deep cleaning on reptile cages. So I'm going to do a deep cleaning on my leopard gecko cages. And as you can see, they really do need done. This one is Samwise. And they're up right now because they think I'm going to feed them. And then this one is Frodo. All right, let's talk about the supplies you're going to need. So you will need some, if you're using a wet hide, which if you have leopard geckos, you absolutely need one. So if you have a wet hide, I use this terrarium moss. I get it on Amazon. I know that they sell it at Petco as well, and I'm sure in the lower 48 you guys have other retailers. You could probably use a lot of different places. I find it cheaper for me on Amazon, and then also I don't have to go to the store. So I use this, and I've got a little bit extra there in a bag that I was running low on. For my terrarium liners, my substrate, I use these green liners. This is just what I found works for me. The only thing that I don't like about this is if one of their feeders gets out, when they go to bite, they'll get on the carpet. But I stopped feeding my geckos crickets a long time ago. I do strictly dubia roaches and superworms. So they're fed in a dish, and so I haven't ran into like this issue with their teeth getting caught on this carpet. So this one works great for me. Then also, of course, a temporary container to put your gecko in while you clean their cage. So I've got 2 of them because I've got 2 little geckos. And then I use a solution of vinegar and water, just because I don't want any chemicals like ending up killing my gecko or making them sick or anything like that. So this is what I find to use. And then I have a spray bottle of just water that I use to really rinse the whole cage out after I use it. And then of course, just some gloves. And you know, if it's in the morning, get some coffee. Step 1, getting the gecko out into their temporary container there. So Samwise, he might look dry, but he actually just plays all the time in his calcium dish right there. So he looks, we call it his like Coke dish, and he's always like digging his head in it and see it like everywhere. He makes the biggest mess. Like my other gecko, you'll see his cage is like so much cleaner. This guy, and he does somersaults, he moves his dishes around. He's just absolutely crazy. So to make just a little bit of room, I'll just take a couple of these dishes out, and if they have anything in them, what I do is I dump them down in the trash, and then I actually wash these in the bathtub all at once. I put them all in there, and I'll show you guys how I do that. So I'm going to take a couple out, put them in the bathtub, and I'll be right back. All right, I cleaned out about half of his cage here, and so what I do is I put the container down inside. And the reason I do this is they don't like their temporary containers at all. So this way I just know I'm not going to drop them or anything. So I'll just put them in here. And then depending on if you handle your geckos or not, depends on like if, you know, it's safe or whatever to put them in here. I honestly don't handle mine that often. Not that they don't let me or anything. I just don't. I like to watch them probably more than anything. So let's just scoot them on in there. And then once I get them in, I slowly turn it. And this one, by the way, he's very like, he'll let you hold him. He's really awesome. My other guy, on the other hand, he can be more finicky, and he's went and tried to bite me and stuff like that. So, but Samwise is very chill. He's a chill little gecko. Okay, so my next step is I put this somewhere safe where my dogs won't be like, what's in there, and get at it. So, buddy. All right, gecko 2. This one is Frodo, and he is the much more feisty one. I don't even know if it's feisty or he's just like always starving, and he's huge. He has like fat pockets behind both of his pits, and he's over 90 grams, and he eats the same as my other one, but it's so like he just retains it so much more. And his legs, and like he's just a big gecko. Come on, buddy. Come on, dude. Down she go. Come on. You can do it. Yeah. They do not like their temporary containers. They're not doing too bad, actually. But, oh my gosh, if I have to give them a bath, it's like the end of the world. Oh, he's starting to freak out. All right, buddy, here you come. Out you go. Free me. Free me at last. I also forgot that I'll have to refill their calcium dishes, aka Coke dish. So this is the one that I use, and I honestly don't remember where I bought this one. I think it was either at Petco or Pet Zoo, which is an Alaska only company. But everything here, I will link it down below that I bought on Amazon, which would be these guys and this guy, and I'll see about anything else. All right, so everything is now in the bathtub, and there's no real reason that I do this. I just think it's easier to just spray everything down at once. And what I do is I spray with vinegar water on one side, I let it soak, then I'll come scrub any of the pieces that need scrubbed, like the feeding dishes, the water dishes, and then their wet hides. I scrub those down, and then I turn them over and do the same thing. Oh, I drop everything. I do the same thing on the other side. Oh, and I bought this spray bottle on Amazon too, so I can put that down below. All right, everything is good and vinegaried, so I'll leave this here while I go clean out the cages. Okay, so I leave in everything in here, and what I do is I just take it all out at the same time, and then I'll spray it down and let this soak as well. Most geckos, if you put in a paper towel, they will just go on it. Samwise for the most part does, but I mean he just makes like a huge mess. But if you look at like my other gecko's cage, for instance, like he'll just go like right in that corner on that little pad that I made him, which is awesome. This is just sawdust from, I went out of town and my sister was feeding him, so when she was pulling him out, she probably just dropped some sawdust in here. So the rest of it, I mean, usually his cage looks super clean, and then his little dish, see, compared to this guy, he is such a slob. So anyway, what I do is I just roll this up, and like you see why I wear gloves with this, like especially for Samwise. Oh my gosh, he probably gets poo everywhere because he's a slob. Okay, and then whatever side had the bathroom side, I just roll it this way so that it doesn't come out anywhere. Frodo is so much cleaner. Yes, he is. I'll just take all of his in one because it's much less messy. Isabella's upset because Miley took her bone. Did she take your bone? Oh, are you so sad? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it? I know, life's tough. Life's tough. Culprit. Bone in mouth. What? Oh no, you poor thing. Okay, and the next thing is spraying it all down with vinegar, and then I just let this sit here, oh, I don't know, 5-10 minutes or so, and then and while that's sitting, I go and scrub and do the other stuff in the bathtub. So now I wipe out the tank, and then afterwards I'll spray it down with a bunch of water and just do a really thorough rinse. I take a mason jar like this guy and I fill it up with moss. Now we'll just fill it up with water. Let it soak. Kind of push it down in there. It'll absorb a lot of this water, and then what we'll do is we'll rinse it out to get a lot of the dirt out. After I usually let this sit here 5 to 10 minutes or more, just depends on how I'm feeling that day. Not least, we got to put some of the wet moss in here. I just break it up. They'll rearrange it however they want to. So you just put it in and they'll change it all up. That looks pretty good.
right. Cage is done. All right, you guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video on how I clean my guys' cages. Frodo looks such like a dinosaur. He's like so prehistoric. All right, guys, see you guys later. Thanks.